And we are live. So it's Ash from Super Videos back for another live stream for season 8 of The Walking Dead. This is going to be a live stream for season 8, episode 7, which was called Time for After. And we're basically getting ready now at this point for the next episode out. So just like always, we're going to basically talk about the episode that we saw last week and give our thoughts about the next episode, which is going to be coming up on Sunday. But the last 15 minutes or so of this live stream is going to basically be dedicated to some spoiler talk, because at this time, I would say most of us or most fans know about the spoiler for the mid-season finale, or I shouldn't even frame it as a spoiler. They know about the rumor for the mid-season finale. So we're just going to talk about it. I will give a spoiler warning when we get to that point in the live stream. So at this point, it's basically a Q&A kind of thing, just like always. So we have Giuseppe De Rosa, and they say, "Hey Ash, hey, how are you?" Jig Jig Almandras the Goose is laughing for some reason, and American Patriot said, "Hey Ash" as well. How are you guys doing? I'm glad that you guys could join this early, because obviously, there is no kind of schedule for my live streams, so it's great that people actually are on. Giuseppe De Rosa says it's GAR Productions. Okay, so you just, I guess, changed your username. I'm just on another account. Okay, so you're just on another account. That's fine. So it's time for you guys' questions and everything. At this point, I think people are more interested in the mid-season finale than they are about the episode that just aired. But, we will be discussing everything that we saw up to this point, as well as the next episode that we're going to basically see. Chichigalamandras the Goose says, "I love you, Ash." Thank you. I appreciate your guys' support and, the support that all of you have given me so far, and making this channel what it is. Because it's, this channel, what it's all about, it's the fans. It's you guys, it's the community we've built so far, and it's just us discussing and having fun. That's all it's about. Giuseppe De Rosa says, "You think Daryl could lose a limb?" It's possible they could go that route and give Heath's comic arc, or not comic arc, but comic moment to Daryl. They could definitely do that. Now that you mention it, that could very well be the shocking moment they're talking about. That's very likely. Alex the Savage Gamer, do you think Negan will live? Yeah, he's gonna live past the mid-season finale, and most likely way after that as well, if they're gonna stick with comic material. At least for season 8, that's what we're talking about here. Speaking of which, what do you guys think about this big moment? What do you think it's going to be? And no spoiler talk right now. We're going to do that at the end. But just give your general thoughts about what you think it's going to be. Do you think it's going to be someone losing a limb when Alexandria is attacked? Do you think that we're going to get a reveal about the helicopter? Do you think someone's going to die? Or do you think they're going to give us some sort of cliffhanger or a fake out death or something like that? Giuseppe De Rosa, did you like the new issue? Yes, I absolutely loved it. I'm going to be doing the review for that tomorrow. I just read it like yesterday morning, so I couldn't get my hands on it, or I haven't even bought it yet, but I couldn't read it yet, sooner than that. I usually read it when it comes out first, but, I've been super busy lately, so I just can't get to the comic shop and get it as soon as it comes out. So I usually just get it in the weekends and read it and, do the review for you guys. So expect the review for that to be out tomorrow. Alex the Savage Gamer. Okay, you retracted your message. Okay. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think a big savior will die in the mid-season finale like Regina or Simon? I don't think Simon is going to die. It's way too early for him to die. We're just halfway through the war. So, other than Simon, do I think a main savior is going to die? Yeah, that's possible. We could see Regina die. We could see, what's the other guy's name? the good savior. I'm drawing a blank on his name. The one that was with Jared, the other asshole savior. I don't know. Gavin. That's what his name was. Gavin. Gavin could definitely die. He is one of the saviors that, he's portrayed as a good savior, even though he is still a savior. So I definitely think it's possible we could see either Regina, Arat, or even Gavin's death. Giuseppe De Rosa says we haven't seen any big saviors die yet. Yeah, that's true. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen any big savior die. We did see that one savior, that nerdy savior, just pop up and die. That was a great death, by the way. Jerry killed him, if you remember. But, he wasn't really a main savior. We just got introduced to him that episode. So we haven't really seen any of the saviors that we've kind of been introduced to before die yet. So you are right about that. Maybe it is time for that to happen. And like I said, the main candidates for that are Gavin, Arat, Regina, and some of the others. Maybe some smaller, other than that, it would be smaller saviors. Now for Regina, it's interesting because we haven't seen her before Season 8. She just popped up in Season 8 and she's been getting a lot of screen time. So it's definitely possible that they did that so that they could kill her off in the mid-season finale and have it be some sort of a big deal. Not that big of a deal, but at least be a case where the fans are basically looking at a main savior die or something like that, or one of the lieutenants die at least. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think the ratings will go back up a little? Yeah, the ratings are weird. I don't know what's happening to the ratings, why it's so low. I do think the last 2 episodes were very tongue twister here, were very weak, but I don't understand why the ratings have been going down the way they have. So it's definitely interesting. I wouldn't say it's concerning at this point, but it's interesting. But in terms of whether it's going to go up or not, I think second half of the season, it might go up. Definitely the mid-season finale, where we are going to see this spike in the ratings, not only because it's a mid-season finale, but also because they've been hyping up this big moment. So it's very likely that more and more people will tune in to watch. And you got to remember, they said you have to watch it live. It's something you wouldn't want to miss. You want to watch it live. So that could possibly be one of their kind of thought process in terms of how to bring up ratings. That could definitely be it. But that being said, I do think that there is going to be something there. They're not just going to say it just for the sake of bringing in more viewers. There's got to be something there anyway. Alex the Savage Gamer, I hope Gavin survives now. Oh, it survives all out war, sorry. Yeah, I hope so, but it's difficult to say. I think he might actually die. He might be one of those saviors that might even die by the hand of another savior. So we've seen him kind of showing that he just wants to survive. He just wants to, go to work, finish work, and basically not deal with anything. So he is not in favor of anything Negan is doing. He doesn't agree with most of what Negan is doing, and I'm pretty sure about that. And, we might even see a scenario where there's some sort of altercation between him and maybe even Negan himself, or maybe another savior, maybe Simon, and he might end up getting killed. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Alex the Savage Gamer, I hope The Walking Dead won't get cancelled. It's not going to get cancelled, not for a long, long time. If it gets to that point, they're going to basically do what they can. They're going to basically milk all of the cash out of The Walking Dead before it's cancelled. I'm pretty sure about that. Giuseppe De Rosa, I love The Walking Dead. It's my favorite series of all time. I hope it doesn't end for a long time. Same here. Giuseppe De Rosa again, what do you think The Walking Dead could do to boost the ratings? Very good question. I think the way they've been doing Season 8, it's not bad, but it's not great. It does seem at some moments, or in some episodes, that they're just stretching the story. And this stretching of the story causes it to be somewhat bland, somewhat boring, somewhat repetitive. So if they want to boost ratings, they have to deal with that. They have to make sure that they're not stretching it. If they don't have enough story, they shouldn't be stretching the story that they have. They can add more story in, and the story that they add in doesn't have to be from the comics. They've been doing that before, or they've done that before anyway. They could do that instead of stretching the story from the comics. Right now, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing them stretching the story from the comics for the first half of All Out War into the first half of Season 8. And because they don't have enough material there, they're just stretching it, and they're not adding anything in. So, because of that, I feel like everything is getting somewhat boring, somewhat bland and repetitive. And it doesn't feel like, for me at least, being a comic reader, it doesn't feel like they're doing anything exciting. It's like a repeat of the comics, and that doesn't always have to be bad, but in this case, it seems like it's, at least for me, it's like repetitive and just stretching the story a little bit. I don't know if I'm making sense here or not, but that's just what I feel basically about it. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think we'll ever get a season with more than 18 episodes? Nope, I don't think they will do that, and I don't think they should do that. They have problems doing this for 16 episodes and not having bottle episodes. They're going to put bottle episodes in there anyway, somewhere, in the 16 episodes. So if they're going to go more, that's basically not going to help things. If anything, they might want to shrink it. I don't think that's the best idea, but they could shrink it and make it like 14 episodes, maybe 13 episodes of a season, something like that. Alex the Savage Gamer, do you think Rick will slit Negan's throat? So, not in the mid-season finale, but maybe closer to the finale. And, for comic readers, we know what that is, but, that might spoil things. Getting into that might spoil things for non-comic readers, so we're not going to get into comic spoiler territory here. So we're just going to talk about the TV show version of All Out War right now. Anything we talk about from the comics has to be things that they've already done, or they're very likely to do from the shapes of it. Or, yeah, not even that, because that's going to spoil things for non-comic readers anyway. So let's just talk about things that have been done already. If we're talking about comic materials. Giuseppe De Rosa, maybe they should have had All Out War start in Season 7 earlier and end All Out War in Season 8 mid-season finale. It would have been the same scenario. It would have still been one full season in terms of the episodes, and they would have had to stretch it if they didn't have enough story. They could have merged All Out War and March to War together. They could have definitely done that. If that's what you're referring to, yeah, that could have definitely helped, for sure. Or, like I said, they could have just added more story in there, made it more interesting, changed things up a little bit. Giuseppe De Rosa, would you like a Negan backstory episode for Season 9? Yeah, Season 9, that might fit, not Season 8. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you like Rick from the comics better or the show? That's a very good question. I like elements of comic Rick better than TV show Rick, but I like TV show Rick's confidence level and what Andrew Lincoln does with Rick from the show, in the show. So I like both at the same time. There's things I like more from the comics, there's things I like more in the show. Royals King 35 Royal says, hey bro, hey, what's up? Alex the Savage Gamer, I hope we see the helicopter again sometime. Yeah, if we're not going to see it next episode, then they're most likely going to reveal it later on in the second half of Season 8. Michonne's mom says, what I think would be newsworthy is Negan's walker head in Maggie's hands. That's a great kind of scenario to play out, but is it likely to happen? No, definitely not. Royals King 35 Royal, do you think the show has ruined Eugene's character? That's a loaded question. Not a loaded question, but it's an interesting and difficult question to answer. They have to an extent, but maybe they're just trying to remix his story. It may not play out the exact same way. Eugene may even not be the same exact character from the comics anymore. So it just depends what they want to do with Eugene's character in the future. Royal King 35 Royal, do you think the helicopter will show up soon or not for a while? They could go different routes. They could basically give us pieces of the helicopter or hints of more things like that in the future in Season 8. Or they could basically not show us anything and come back in Season 9, maybe halfway in Season 9 and show us something again. And then later on, do the same thing until we reach a part in the story where they are relevant. They might do that. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you want Eugene to die? I don't want Eugene to die. I find his character interesting most of the time, but I don't want him to die. I rather see him do or be involved in a more interesting storyline. Right now, I don't feel like his storyline is interesting enough. He has basically shown us that he's a savior, he's Negan, so would we really need to see that over and over again? Probably not. They better just move his story forward a little bit more. Make him basically come back and go about it that way, or have him do something more interesting at the sanctuary rather than just being the smart guy from the group and everything. He could potentially start making bullets for Negan. That would be the next step for him in order to kind of move away from him just saying that he's a savior, he's Negan, and storyline like that over and over again, to him actually doing things for Negan to help him in this war. So I think that's a better kind of process for him. That'll make him more interesting, his story arc. But in terms of me wanting him to die, no, I don't want him to die. Alex the Savage Gamer, I think Simon will die from Negan. Yeah, that's very likely. I don't think it's the best choice because then the audience doesn't have that closure. And for comic readers, we know that that might be necessary because, things may not happen the way that non-comic readers think things might end up at the end of the war. And I'm not going to go into comic spoiler territory here, but because that's not going to happen, or it's very unlikely for that to happen, then they need to give us closure somehow. And the only way to do that is to kill a major savior other than Negan. And that savior would have to be Simon. So it would make more sense for one of the survivors, one of the heroes, to kill Simon. And I have a couple people in mind that would potentially be great candidates for that. Maggie is one, Daryl is one, Rick is one, Michonne is one, Carl is one. So these characters could kill Simon, and I think it would be better way to utilize Simon's character and his death rather than having Negan kill him. Negan killing him would be shocking and interesting and exciting, but if they're going to do that, then what are they going to do with that other aspect of the story? The part that would be missing for the end of the war, if you know what I mean. Giuseppe De Rosa, how do you think All Out War will end? The same way as the comics. I definitely believe that they're going to stick with the comics. Royal King 35 Royal, what's your opinion on how ruthless Daryl has been this season? I'm not a big fan, honestly, but I think they're doing that on purpose. They might be doing this for us to be indifferent about Daryl's character now and for them to do something to Daryl, like kill him off or something like that. And have it be that, or have it be such that people are not so pissed off, or as pissed off as they would have been if Daryl was the same old guy. Royals 35 Royal. I'm not sure if you talked about this, but could Daryl lose a limb to take Heath's story arc? Yeah, I did talk about that. It's definitely possible, and it could be that shocking or big moment that they're talking about for the next episode. Giuseppe De Rosa, it would be cool to see Daryl in season 9 with a big big beard and short hair. Sorry, I'm just trying to picture that. I can't even picture Norman Reedus, let alone Daryl Dixon, with short hair and a beard. I know that, he had short hair at the beginning of the series, but with the beard and everything, yeah, I can't picture that, honestly. It would be weird and interesting, but yeah. Cool idea, though. Giuseppe De Rosa, when do you think Carol will die? If she doesn't die this season, and I don't think she will, then she could potentially die next season with the next villain that's going to show up. For comic readers, you know what I mean. So that could be interesting. That could be something that they could do. Alex the Savage Gamer, do you think there are more outposts Rick and the gang don't know about? Definitely. Maybe not as big as the ones that they have kind of attacked so far, but there's definitely some left in there. But that being said, maybe Dwight has told them about all of them, or the ones that pose the most threat. Royals King 35 Royal, if Daryl keeps this up, could it get to a point where Daryl will turn on Rick? It could, but I think it would be a bit forced. It might lead to disagreement between them and maybe a physical fight like we saw before, but I don't think that it'll get to a point where Rick wants to kill Daryl or Daryl wants to kill Rick. I don't think it's going to get to that, and I don't think it should get to that point. Michonne's mom says, Jadis wants Rick nude. I think Jadis' theme song should be Rick James a Super Freak, because she is super freaky. Yes. So, if Michonne was there when she made that comment, her ass would be on the ground. Right then and there. No problem. So, I guess she was lucky Michonne wasn't there. Honestly. But yeah, going back to your question, yeah, it would be cool. That would be an interesting theme song for Jadis. Giuseppe De Rosa, how many saviors do you think are left? So let's assume that there was a couple hundred, maybe 200 saviors before the war. At this point, I would say there's a bit more than, or a bit less than, I would say either half or a bit less than half of the saviors left. And by this, I'm including the workers in there as well. Alex the Savage Gamer, do you see Daryl and Negan in the New Beginning? Negan, maybe, but Daryl, I honestly don't know. It depends what they want to do with his character. And with the way that he's been acting lately, it's just way too difficult to kind of predict at this point. But honestly, I don't see him fitting in the New Beginning story arc. But they could change his arc a little bit and kind of push him into a new direction for the next season. And, we might actually see it fitting somehow. But at this point, I don't see it. We are about 23 minutes in. So now it's time for the last component of this live stream. So we're done with the Q&A portion of this live stream. Now we're going to get into the spoiler territory. Not only spoilers from the mid-season finale or the rumors for the mid-season finale, but also comic spoilers as well. So if you're not interested in that, then, you can just quit the live stream. Thank you for participating and everything, and I appreciate you guys' support and everything. But if you don't want to know about comic spoilers and the rumors from the mid-season finale, then I would basically ask you to, or advise you to leave the live stream right now so that nothing gets spoiled for you. That being said, let's get right into these questions that are regarding the rumors that have come out and also basically looking at comic material as well at this point. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think Daryl will ever forgive Negan? I don't see Daryl ever forgiving Negan. No, I don't see it. He can't even forgive Dwight. How is he gonna forgive Negan? No one's gonna forgive Negan. I still haven't forgiven Negan for what he's done in the comics. So, you know, no one's ever gonna forgive him. Will they basically not look past it, but will they try to work together to survive? Possibly, but will he ever forgive him? Definitely not. Alex the Savage Gamer, do you think we will see bombing of Alexandria? Yeah, I think we will see that in the next episode. It's very likely. We know Negan is at Alexandria from the sneak peek of the next episode, so it's definitely possible that we will see something like that. And that might even be the kind of big moment that they're talking about. And this kind of connects to that other aspect of what we discussed before, where a character is going to lose their limb. So we could definitely see that, and it could be that big moment they're talking about. Giuseppe De Rosa, wait, we're allowed to ask questions about the huge rumor going around? Yes, you are. At this point, you are. Because I already gave the spoiler warning, and, you know, if you guys are here, that means you're interested in the spoilers. Or the rumors. And we don't want to talk about any other spoiler. Just that rumor that we know about, which is Carl possibly dying in the next episode. That's the only one. Giuseppe De Rosa, Ash off topic, but what country do you live in? LOL. I'm in Canada. Canada. Alex the Savage Gamer, this season feels like season 1. You could think of it that way. I don't see it being similar to season 1. I don't see that at all. But, you know, you could say that, I guess. Giuseppe De Rosa, just curious. Yeah, I'm in Canada right now. I think that's what you're referring to. It's currently 9:29 p.m. here. That's why it's dark outside. Where is everybody else from that's live on the channel on the live stream right now? I'm interested to know that as well. Alex the Savage Gamer, because all of the callbacks. Yeah, the callbacks are definitely there on purpose, because this season started with the 100th episode, so they are doing a lot of the callbacks on purpose. And yeah, if you're looking at it that way, then it does seem like, or it does have elements not only from season 1, but from the entire series. So definitely you're correct about that. So let's do some sort of poll here. Let me know whether you think Carl is going to die in the next episode or not. So just say yes or no, basically. And I just want to see you guys' opinions about this, because we are talking about this rumor at this point as well. So Alex the Savage Gamer says yes. Okay, so you do think that he is going to die. I'm 50-50 about it. I think it could happen, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of story. That's the only kind of reason why I'm hesitant to say yes completely. Giuseppe De Rosa, Ash, I think you should have a video reminder saying you're going to go live before the stream to boost the views up. Yeah, I could definitely do that, like a quick video before the live streams. I will definitely try to do that for the second half of the season, because I'm going to continue to do these live streams for the second half, so I could definitely do that. Or I could also put it on the Facebook channel or Facebook page of the channel. And for those of you that don't know about that, the link is in the description. You can go and like the page, and in there I basically post all of the videos that I have. Basically, if you're not on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you would know I posted something. I also do some kind of discussion sometimes on there as well regarding news and everything, so I might even do it there as well. But I could do like a quick video on YouTube reminding everyone about it. That would also be cool. That could also happen as well. It depends. I'll see what happens. Giuseppe De Rosa, I really hope he doesn't die. I love Carl. Yeah, I think he's definitely an interesting character. I think he has more story to be told from the comics, so I definitely think that it's way, way, way too early to kill him off. And I don't think it's going to work in terms of story. But we'll have to see what happens. Alex the Savage Gamer, do you think the Whisperer War will happen? Definitely, it will happen. Most likely not in season 9. Maybe if it does get started, it'll start at the very end of season 9. But in terms of whether it will happen or not, it's definitely going to happen. Giuseppe De Rosa, if Carl dies, do you think the ratings will go down even more? That's what I'm scared of. That's actually an interesting way of looking at it. It could impact the ratings for sure. Definitely could, have a negative impact on the ratings of the series for sure, of this season at least. Giuseppe De Rosa, it happened with Glenn. Yeah, it did happen with Glenn. I don't entirely agree with that because I feel like that was an important part of the comics to bring to life in the show. So I definitely think that, or I definitely don't agree with ratings dropping and people just stopping to watch or stop. I don't agree with people who stopped watching after that death. But that being said, I think in this case it's different. In this case, the whole story could be hurt. And we could have another Andrea moment all over again. Alex the Savage Gamer, killing off Carl will ruin this story. I don't think it's definitely going to ruin this story. I think they're going to have to do a shit ton of remixes if they do that. And those remixes may not work out the way they want them to. Michonne's mom, I do not think Carl will die. Okay, so you think that it's just a rumor that it's not going to happen. And I agree with you 50%. Like I said, I'm 50-50 on it. I just can't see it happening, but at the same time, if these rumors have come out from this reliable source, and I do call them reliable, but, I don't go on there to watch their stuff or to read the spoilers or anything like that, but because most of what they've said is true, it could definitely be true in this case as well. Giuseppe De Rosa, if you could switch Glenn's death for Daryl, would you do it? First of all, I was not a fan of the double death. I was not a fan. I thought that one death overshadowed the other death. And that's, in my opinion, where it hurt the story. So I wasn't a fan of the double death. I think it would have been better to just have one death. And yes, I do agree that doing that with Daryl would have been way better. Not only for the story, but also in the comics, when Glenn got that death, he was the most loved character. He was the favorite character. In the show, that character was Daryl. Daryl was the most favorite character of all time. So they should have given it to Daryl if they were gonna kind of replicate that scene exactly. So I do agree that it would have worked better. That being said, if that happened, then we wouldn't really have this storyline for Maggie. And that would have been a tough thing to kind of change. So if we're thinking about it that way, then killing Glenn definitely had to happen. But would I think that Daryl's death during that moment would have been good as well? I definitely do. Giuseppe De Rosa, if Carl dies, how do you think it will happen? Either he's going to get blown up when Alexandria is basically bombed, or he's going to be shot at, stabbed, or something like that, or it's going to be a scenario where, he might be bit or something like that. That's the only possibilities, I guess, right? Thinking of it, I didn't probably answer your question at all because I said all of the possibilities. But which do I think is more likely? Probably him getting shot or stabbed. I think that's more likely. Giuseppe De Rosa, Ash, did you see Chan? But I think it could be a clue, but it could be them misleading us. Could be one of the two. Michonne's mom says, why is Didi going off? I think Didi was raped at Sanctuary because Didi's odd blinking. Do you think Rick will kill Daryl? No, I don't think so. Giuseppe De Rosa, Ash, do you think in issue 200 Rick will die? In the comics, issue 200, I think it's early. It's still way too early. And we're not going to get into comic discussions here. But yeah, I think it's too early. Giuseppe De Rosa, Robert Kirkman says he wants issue 100 to top 200. Wait, what? Robert Kirkman says he wants issue 100 to top 200. Is that backwards? I think you have that backwards. He wants 200 to top 100. And yeah, I think it makes sense. But does that mean that he's going to kill Daryl or kill Rick? I don't think so. Giuseppe De Rosa, if Carl dies, how do you think, or do you think we'll get Crazy Savage Rick? I think we're going to see a broken Rick first, but then after that we might see a Savage Rick. Alex the Savage Gamer, do you think Siddiq will get his leg blown off? No, I don't think so. I don't think it fits. Giuseppe De Rosa, yeah, my bad, lol. No worries, I got that. So we're like 36 minutes in. That's basically, I would say, the end. We're getting off topic a little bit here. So thank you for everybody who participated. It was a fun live stream here. And it'll be basically, again, next Friday. Or next Friday or Saturday. But just to remind everyone, next Friday or next promo breakdowns from here on in. So I'm not going to basically put them together anymore. I'm going to break them down. So I'm going to have one video where I do the review and one video where I do the promo breakdown, just like I've been doing way before. I just thought that, it would be better if it's together because we're talking about what the episode that just aired, reviewing that and predicting what's going to happen next and looking at the promo breakdown or the promo and breaking it down. So I thought it would fit, but I don't think many people enjoyed that structure. So that's why I'm going back to the old structure of the videos. Reviews in one, and some of them were long, but most of them were very quick. And that's basically going to be what I'm going to do. The reviews are going to be very short. Giuseppe De Rosa says, alright, thanks Ash, don't forget to put a reminder before the stream. Yeah, I'll try to do that for sure. And thank you for bringing it up and letting me know that would work or that's better to do. I appreciate it. Love the vids, Giuseppe De Rosa. Thank you, I appreciate it. Michonne's mom, great. You run the best live streams on YouTube, for real, for real. Thank you, I appreciate everyone who participated and came here and asked their questions and basically spend their time with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the support, and I hope that I'm giving you guys something so that you're entertained. That's what it's all about. Giuseppe De Rosa, yeah, I want more viewers in these live streams. Yeah, me too. That being said, even if I put a reminder, I don't think it's going to change it that much because I don't think a lot of people are interested in these live streams, at least not for my channel for whatever reason. So I'll give it a try. I hope it works, but I don't think it's going to change too much. But we'll test it out. We'll see what happens. Giuseppe De Rosa says, and don't give up. I won't. Thank you for that motivational kind of quote there, or motivational say there. So yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone who participated. I appreciate you guys' support, and I will see you again here next week. I will put a reminder up for the live stream. Also, watch out for the review for next episode as well. And I'm excited for next episode, episode 8 on Sunday. So I hope you guys are as excited about that episode as I am, and we're going to have to wait and see what happens with the rumor. And, we just got to wait 2 more days. We'll see what happens. So thank you. I will see you next week.